In his 20-plus years of experience, our next speaker has been a customer, a partner, a trainer, and a competitor. He has deployed more than 2,000 security gateways in his career, one of them on top of an active volcano. Today, he's an outstanding ping pong player, a father of 3 spectacular girls, and Checkpoint's chief evangelist. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Moti Sagi.
Can I get a woot woot? Awesome. Okay. So Peter promised you a joke by my daughter. This joke this time is by my daughter Shira. It's about the environment. She asked me the other day, Dad, do you know what is the 3 favorite drink? I said, no. Is it water, maybe? She said, no, it's root beer. So the environment is not something to laugh about. And I'd like to show you the Person of the Year by Time Magazine, Greta. And here's why she got the award.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
Look at her power of conviction. Look at the feeling of being part of something that is bigger than her. Now, mind you that she was against companies that put growth before the climate, so I understand the irony in this thing, but I'd like to point out the conviction and to extract it upon ourselves. What does it mean to us when we sell a solution? 90% of selling is conviction. Once you're convinced that what you're selling truly is the best and truly is what the customer needs, it's contagious. The belief and the trust is created naturally. 10% is actually doing what's right, but the conviction is what is most important. In fact, we asked our customers, 881 of them, why did you choose Checkpoint? What pain point specifically did Checkpoint solve in obtaining your trust and in solving your security needs? And those were the top 3 things that they told us. First one being real-time prevention. The ability of Checkpoint to offer a solution that blocks attacks, prevent attacks before they cause any damage. And apparently, as you heard before from Gil, this is a big differentiator of Checkpoint. The second thing is operational efficiency. Superior operational efficiency, ability to manage the security estate in a very efficient and proper way. And the third one is the ability to offer a solution to our customers that is complete. A solution that spans from the endpoint to mobile to cloud to network security to branch offices, all with one single pane of glass and unified management. All of these 3 pillars together create the mindset of conviction that when you're in a talk with customers, you are able to convey the message that what we deliver is the best thing for the customer, and this is actually the value that the customer is looking for in a security partner. So let's talk a few slides on those 3 pillars and to show you that we have the best solutions in all of those 3 elements. The first one being real-time prevention. And in order to explain what real-time prevention means, I'd like you to see this short video.
Yes, he does. Here he goes, winding up for the shot, and oh! The cannon has fired and hit Sterling directly to the face. Here he goes with the approach. Oh! Sterling with the face.
fantastic dive.
Yes, as his trainer takes him off the field like a mustached lion dragging a gazelle through the Serengeti.
Still waiting for the kick to happen. He's probably wondering when. Oh! Sweet butter crumpet! The ball drills Sterling right in the face. He literally just has to kick it anywhere except where Sterling is sitting.
There is no possible way that North Carolina can mess up this shot.
Oh!
158 kilometers per hour!
This man can do no wrong!
Look at him beg for mercy!
I apologize. Well, I have to say that Bangkok left a little less. So I'm really glad you like this video. I apologize for stopping in this specific image, but I can guarantee you that no animals were hurt in the making of this video. And if you want to hear more about it, Google Scott Sterling, and you see the level of authenticity of this video. But speaking of authenticity, everything that we do in Checkpoint as a philosophy is real-time prevention. Every innovation that we make, from the ground up, the core of our DNA as a company is to create solutions with real-time prevention capabilities. And I'd like to show you two examples of what I mean. First one is called malware DNA. And what happens in malware DNA is the ability for us to sequence files according to DNA markers. So apparently any file, for example, this Word file, is actually a piece of code. We are able to sequence that file into specific DNA markers and to look for specific parts that may contain code similarity to other malware families. This is also known as a malware DNA match. By that, we are able to provide our customers with real-time prevention and with the best catch rate in the industry. So this is one example. The second example is something that is called target lock. And this is something really cool, innovation by our Checkpoint researchers, innovative minds. What they do is that they reverse engineer some of the malwares that has something that is called DGA. When you reverse engineer a malware, you are able to scan for specific codes, for specific section in the code that comprise something called DGA, domain generation algorithm, and with a clock function that is extracting the command and control addresses for the malware to communicate with the operator. And we extract those malware, we fast forward the clock, and we extract all of those domains for the malware, and we actually buy those domains and are able to create a sinkhole in order to protect the entire industry as a whole. So once you have an infection of those malwares, when they try to communicate with the command and control server, they are basically being sinkholed by our Checkpoint research server, dummy server. And if they're a Checkpoint customer, they are automatically protected because those indicators of compromise are fed through the threat cloud. But not only that, this is a great lead generation tool because we have visuality, we have visibility to prospects, customers that are not yet protected by Checkpoint, and we are able to offer them this insights on the network. So you're going to hear more about it in the next quarter of this service. So our real-time prevention actually creates value in the eyes of the customer. It's a big differentiator. This is what Desert Research Institute said. Checkpoint gives us universal automatic protection that stops threats every day before we even know they're there. However, not all vendors provide real-time prevention. Some of the vendors, like this vendor behind me, Palo Alto, takes at least 5 minutes to move from detection to prevention. Now, you might ask yourself, maybe it's okay. Maybe 5 minutes is okay to move from detection to prevention. But anyone who saw the movie with Dustin Hoffman and the monkey, I believe it was called Outbreak, knows that once you have the patient zero infection, it's too late. The malware or the virus or whatever it is laterally moves across the network, and it's game over. Apparently, also Palo Alto knows that. And this is something that Roman from the competitive team, a great competitive team, found that in their documentation, they basically say, after wildfire identifies the malware, a log is sent to the firewall, and the firewall alerts the administrator, who then contacts the user to eradicate the malware. The security administrator identifies the user by name. At this point, the administrator can shut down the network. This is their concept for real-time prevention, to shut down the network. In fact, it is effective. If you shut down the network, everything is prevented. However, in Checkpoint, we take a more holistic approach towards security and actually try to protect and prevent threats before they happen. And for that, I have to say, with all due respect to Greta, how dare you? But it's not only Palo Alto, also Fortinet in their documentation, they say on Forti Sandbox with it's their advanced threat prevention or detection service, sending files to the Forti Sandbox cloud does not block files that it uploads. So what do you do exactly? Like, you let us know we've been screwed in vivid details? Like, it kind of reminds me of this video.
ولا تمانين مايلة يعسو أكل بيشيلوا شلم حنايا يا الله إنه مليم أول شلم هو بكذب
I'm not going to translate the Hebrew words. So in fact, when we are tested side by side by independent third party, and this is an example of NSS Labs that ran the most comprehensive breach prevention test in the industry, it shows our superior capability to both catch threats with the best catch rate and prevent them in real time. So this is a test that shows that we had the highest block rate in the industry, 100%, with attractive total cost of ownership with the Infinity architecture, and last but not least, 0% false positives. Because if you'd like to create a real-time prevention culture, it needs to be practical. It needs to have in mind business continuity. You cannot allow yourself to provide a security solution that has false positives. So this allows us, this accuracy, like malware DNA and like target lock and other threat extraction, allows us to provide our customers with practical prevention that has 0 false positives. We were tested side by side against our top competitors, Fortinet, Cisco, and Palo Alto, 14 times by NSS Labs. And in 13 out of the 14 times, 93% of the cases, we got the highest rating possible, which is recommended. Other vendors, for example, Palo Alto, in 46% of the cases, they got either a caution rating, meaning stay away from this product, or a neutral rating. This slide, by the way, really sells a lot. It resonates really good with customers, so make sure to use it. But it's not only network security and cloud security and endpoint security. There's another vertical called mobile security in the mobile threat defense industry, and this is where we shine as well versus different competitors such as Symantec, Sophos, Lookout, etc. So I showed you real-time prevention and why we provide the best security solution with real-time prevention. Now let's discuss about operational efficiency. Our security management is perceived to be the gold standard in the industry, as Gil said before in the fireside chat. This is what one of our customers said, that we cut the time we spend on managing security by 80% thanks to the simplicity of the Checkpoint solution. Now, security management is comprised out of 2 parts. One is the actual access control, the security enforcement of things, and the second one is the visibility into risk, the risk posture that is being showed. And this is something that is the holy grail of security management, to always know what's coming ahead and to always know what's infected in your network. Kind of reminds me of this. Yeah, it is funny. So finding those blind spots like this girl didn't see is what we have in mind with our Infinity SOC Analyst Mind. In Analyst Mind, this is something that we're going to announce tomorrow, we have the ability to basically find the needle in the haystack with networks of tens of thousands of computers and find the infected devices. It's based on our Threat Cloud big data analytics platform that gets shared threat intelligence through network cloud, endpoint, mobile, etc. And then through advanced AI on the data that is coming to the cloud, we are able to extract nation attacks, infected hosts and mobile devices, hacked cloud instances, DNS tunneling attempts, exposed servers, and campaign prediction capabilities. All of these capabilities create a map, a visual map, of the infected devices in one's network. And through the Infinity SOC portal, we are able to pinpoint those infected devices to make sure that we have the complete visibility. We can drill down to see what were the suspicious behavior that led to this verdict, the trends of the data through the command and control server, and not shut down the network, but download a very slim client, Sandblast Agent client, to eradicate the malware and clean the infected device. So this is a great innovation that we're going to announce tomorrow, and is the holy grail of finding the infected host in a large network. Now, in terms of what the competitor has, they have something that is quite inferior, but still they claim to provide the same value. And they provide it with something that is called, Palo Alto, for example, provided with something that is called Cortex Data Lake and Cortex XDR. And this is their recommended sizing for a headquarters gateway with 10 small sites and 2,000 seats. They need to send to the local cloud 158 terabytes. This costs every year $730,000 every year. Do you want to know how much it costs from Check Point? Maybe we did a mistake. It cost $20,000. Am I correct, Dorit, more or less? Something like that. So we might raise this price after Dorit just saw this slide. But still, we don't even need the customers to send the log to the cloud because we're using the metadata, something that is really cool. It turns out that in the Prisma Cloud solution, it takes them, as compared to Check Point, that 2 to 5 minutes, it takes them at least 3 hours to move from a log to alert of a suspicious behavior. And I can tell you, I see Dorit here sitting in the first row, that if we had this limitation, Dorit, would it pass even QA? Come on, yeah. So I think she also agrees with you. Like, this really boggles my mind. In fact, we did something really cool. We call it the Cloud Agony Meter. We measured specific tasks that are being done throughout the day by a security administrator when managing cloud estate. And we measured how many mouse clicks and how many menus the user, the security administrator, had to go through. And we compared it to other solutions from Palo and Fortinet. We found out that Palo had 7 times more menus and mouse clicks that you need to go through. Now, the scenarios are very detailed. I urge you all, the technical guys, to go on the competitive deep dive session after lunch by Chezi Chen and to hear more about it. So we talked about real-time prevention, and we talked about operational efficiency. Now let's close it with our complete solution offering. Our complete solution offering starts with an infinity architecture, the holistic architecture that provides solution for network, endpoint, mobile, cloud, branch offices through SD-WAN and through delegated security. And all of this together creates a complete coverage that when you compare it against other security vendors in the arena, it shows our superior threat coverage. So this is an example of capabilities as defined by Gartner, like next generation firewall, advanced threat defense, DDoS, DLP, endpoint protection platform, EDR, SIEM, cloud workload protection, cloud security posture, mobile threat defense, web application and API protection, IoT, ICS, and the new kid in the block, SASE. And when you show this to C-level, it really resonates with them, the real value of the consolidated solution by Check Point. But it's not enough. Because what happens if the security vendor that the customer is buying a security solution itself has a vulnerability. So for example, Checkpoint in the last 4 years, we had 13 vulnerabilities. Software vulnerabilities in our Gaia, it was around OpenSSH and OpenSSL and other elements. And it took us on average 6 days to release a patch to our customer base in order to protect against those vulnerabilities. When you compare it to our competitors, and all of this information, by the way, is publicly verifiable. You can go to this link, tiny.cc/urgency, and see the metrics. We are able to see that vendors like Fortinet, for example, had 234 vulnerabilities, and it took them 118 days to release a patch. And Palo Alto, it took 128 days. We're talking here about customers that sometimes in hospitals, medical, federal, this is literally a matter of life or death to solve those security concerns. So this is why you need a security partner that has in the core of their DNA the sense of urgency that we can see here. So all of those 3 building blocks, real-time prevention, operational efficiency, and complete solutions, those are our X factor. You should be proud of them. You should be full of conviction of why we provide the best value to our customers in solving their relevant pain points and why we create the most compelling offering in the market in the cybersecurity. I want to say one last word about someone special in my life. This is Leah, my other daughter. She just turned 12, and in the Jewish tradition, we do something that is called a bat mitzvah. I think Jeff did it to one of his daughters the other day, or like a few months ago. And this is a ceremony, is like a rite of passage from becoming from a girl that is becoming a woman. Part of the ritual is also doing a photo book, and this is one of the pictures from the photo book. See her lovely hair, how amazing it is. The second thing that she does in the party, she gets a keynote, like her daddy, and she speaks about a hero that inspired her. This time she picked someone that is called Joseph, the Prince of Egypt. When I asked her why, she told me because of his conviction, because he felt that he's part of something bigger. His childhood started with dreaming a dream that one day he will become the Prince of Egypt and he will have his family bowing down to him. He was resented, no surprise, by his brothers, thrown into a hole full with snakes and scorpions. Later on, he was sold into becoming a slave, was sent to prison, and then they found a rare skill that he had to decipher dreams, a little bit of what we do in the cybersecurity. He was deciphering dream of one of the ministers there in Egypt and was found to be useful in solving also the Pharaoh dream. And later on, this contributed to becoming him the Prince of Egypt. And he was never despaired. He never lost faith because he felt he was part of a godly plan to become the Prince of Egypt and to help his brother into salvation. So this is the person that she picked, the hero that inspired her, that had conviction, that he felt that he was part of something that is bigger than him. She also decided on that day to do something that is bigger than her. She, on the day that is dedicated to receiving gifts, she decided to give. She heard that there are cancer patient girls that do not have hair. And she decided to cut her hair. I'm sorry. She decided to cut her hair and give it to cancer patients. And when I asked her why, she said, I also want to feel that I'm part of something bigger than myself. This is the power of conviction, that when you have this feeling, you can do that. So why am I telling you this story? First of all, I started with a girl, amazing Greta, and I'm finishing with a girl. We are also fortunate enough to work in the cybersecurity industry. This is the singular purpose of making the digitally transformed world into a safer place. And we work at the best company that provides those solutions. We should all be proud of it and be full of conviction in order to provide the best value to our customer and create the world a safer place. Thank you very much.